Hi, boys and girls. I'm coming to you from Lainey's bedroom today, where I'm going to read the next couple chapters or pages in The One and Only Ivan. Here we go. Finally, Julia and George take the pictures to the ring where there's room to see them all. An hour passes as they try to assemble my puzzle. Ruby's awake now, and she and Bob and I watch. "Ivan," Ruby says, "is that a picture of me?" "Yes," I say proudly. "Where am I supposed to be?" "That's a zoo, Ruby. See the walls and the grass and the people looking at you?" Ruby squints. "Who are all those other elephants?" "You haven't met them yet," I say. "Yet." "It's a very nice zoo," Ruby says, with an approving nod. Bob nudges me with his nose. "It is indeed." In the ring, Julia pumps her fists into the air. "Yes!" she cries. "I told you, Dad! There it is! Home! Home! George gazes at the letters. He spins around to look at me. "Maybe it's just a coincidence, Jules. You know, a once-in-a-trillion kind of thing. Like that old saying about the chimp and the typewriter. Give him long enough and he'll write a novel." I make a grumbling noise, as if a chimp could write a letter, let alone a book. "Then how do you explain the rest of this?" Julia demands. "The picture of Ruby in the zoo." "How do you know it's a zoo?" George asks. "See the circle on the gate? There's a red giraffe in it." George squints and tilts his head. "Are you sure that's a giraffe? I was thinking more along the lines of a deformed cat." "It's the logo for the zoo, Dad. It's on all of their signs. Explain that." George gives a helpless smile. I can't begin to. I'm just saying there has to be a lot of a logical explanation here. Look at this. Look how big this is. Julia put the last piece of Ruby's right ear into place. "It's huge." "It is definitely large," George agrees. Julia watches me. She chews on her thumbnail. I see the question in her eyes. She turns back to the paintings and stares at them, looking, truly looking. A slow smile dawns on Julia's face. "Dad," she says, "I have an idea. A big idea." Julia races around the edge of my painting, her arms spread wide. "Billboard big!" I'm not following you. "I think this is meant to be on a billboard. That's what Ivan wants." George crosses his arms over his chest. "What Ivan wants," he repeats slowly. "And you know this because you two have been chatting?" "Because I'm an artist and he's an artist." "Uh-huh," said George. Julia claps her hands together. "Come on, Dad! I'm begging you." George shakes his head. "No, I'm not doing that. No billboard, no way." "I'll get the ladder," Julia says. "You get the glue. I know it's dark out, but the billboards light up." "Mac'll fire me, Jules." Julia considers. "But think of the publicity, Dad. Everybody who knew and will know about Ruby." "You want me to put up a sign that shows Ruby in a zoo with the word home on it in giant letters?" George gestures to the pictures. "A sign, incidentally, that just happens to have been made by a gorilla?" "Exactly," said Julia. "And you want me to do And you want me to do it without Mac's permission? George asks. Exactly, says Julia. No, says George. No way. Julia goes to the edge of the ring, careful not to step on any of my paintings. She picks up Mac's claw stick. She walks back and hands it to her father. George runs a finger along the blade. She's just a baby, Dad. Don't you want to help her? But how would it help, Jules? Even if lots of people see Ivan's sign, it doesn't mean anything's going to change. I'm not exactly sure yet, Julia shakes her head. Maybe people will see the sign and they'll know that this isn't where Ruby belongs. Maybe they'll want to help too. George sighs. He looks at Ruby. She waves her trunk. It's a matter of principle, Dad. Principal. L-E, George corrects. Dad, Julia says softly, what if Ruby ends up like Stella? George looks at me and Ruby and at Julia. He drops the claw stick. The ladder, he says quietly. It's in the storage locker. The next morning, I watch Mac's car slam to a halt in the parking lot. He jumps out and he stares at the billboard. His jaw is open. He doesn't move for a long, long time. All right, boys and girls, thank you for listening to me today. Find out tomorrow where else I'm going to read in my house.